Hey folks, welcome back. We're not on the farm, we're out on another field trip today. So we might be doing a thing. Stick around, we'll tell you what it is. So a piece of property come up for sale near us, about probably about an hour away from home. But it's riverfront property, 5 acres, and it's going fairly cheap. I think it's going to go for like $50,000. So we're going to take a look at it. We're here at the property. This is the driveway down in. We're right off the highway right here. Got lots of tree cover here on the property. Got a little highway noise, but I think once you get down here, the trees will block most of that out. And look at the river here. Wow. Now the reason this property is going so cheap is because this part in this county, they have a conservation deal where you can't build any houses or anything or any structures on the river because you have to have a certain amount of acres before they allow it for the conservation easement or whatever along the river. So they're kind of picky along here on what they let you do. So because you can't build here, build a cabin or anything like that, is not as attractive to most people because most people would like to build a cabin here or whatever. Now I don't know what their regulations are on temporary structures like a shed or something like that, or if you could put like a little cabin on skids, just something to stay the weekend in or something while you're fishing or whatever. But we'll definitely check into that before we make an offer on this property. Got a nice little pushed out pad here right out here by the river. We'll do some more exploring. I believe this is the North Loop River. It's got deer sign down here, so there's plenty of deer running around, and that's a big one. The other attractive thing is there's 280 acres of public land right across the river here that if you had like a little canoe or kayak you could get to and utilize as well. It's all sandy here. We're up here in the Sandhills region. So you've got a little sandy area right down here, little sandbar you could play on and fish off of. Pretty sweet. Nice wide spot in the river. There's a little deal that goes down here. I wonder if it goes down to that area. We'll check it out. Kind of a little wash that comes down through here. A little bit of garbage somebody had left. Wouldn't take much to make access down in here, make a little trail. Not too steep at all. Kind of a little trail already. We just have to clean it up a little bit. Could make some little quad trails around this property, it'd be cool. Bring the quad down here. Some nice flat areas down here in the bottom. You could clean out and camp down in here, and that's one of the sole purposes we would buy this property, is to give us a little recreation location, because if you recall when we did our campground video, there's not a lot of cool campgrounds here in Nebraska. This would be super cool right here on the river. This wash comes right down here. I'm assuming there might be a culvert up there on the highway that maybe lets water down through here. But great beach access here. My granddaughter would love to come down here and play in the sand, be like being on the beach in Nebraska. River stays pretty shallow. I'm sure there's deeper areas over there on the other side. But a big sandbar out over there. Let's go check this area over here a little bit more. This is that flat area. And I was told there's a spring on this property too. which I find hard to believe. It's probably just water subbing in from the river. But let's give a look if this water is running. Because if there's a source of natural spring water, that'd be a plus. Now if you can see, this water here is running out this way. I don't know if you can tell that from the video. So that's cool. We're going to follow that up there a little ways and see if it's maybe just the river running through there or if it's actual spring. Now this area down here would be super cool for camping, but getting our trailer down here, we'd most likely get stuck in this sandy area. Watching my footing through here because I'm by myself. But kind of a marshy area down here. That Spring Creek kind of takes a bend, comes out over here. I think the better camping would be up here or clear up on the top. You could just walk down in here. I can see why this is a lot of animals roaming around down in here. Now I don't know if there's a fence line on the property or where the property line stops. We'll have to see. I think on the listing it shows the property line, so we can look at that a little closer. Right up to the river here. Pretty sweet. You can see that little bluff up there is that area that we first walked down to. Could definitely get the trailer up there. That wouldn't be a problem. It'd be nice to have the view out over the river anyway. You could always walk down to the water. That's no big deal. We're following this little stream. We'll see if we come to a fence line or not. Looks like a culvert under the road up here, so I doubt if this is actually a spring. Maybe spring fed. But very heavy animal trail through here. See, there's a lot of cover in here for deer and whatnot. Now, there's a lot of little bare sticks in here. Could be poison ivy or whatever poison oak what we might have here in this area. You can't tell till the leaves come out, really. So we're almost to the culvert here. We're all the way here to the culvert that comes under the road. There is no water coming out of this culvert, so there has to be a spring here somewhere, because even right here I can see the water running. There's a little connection right there, so this actually must be some kind of a spring here that's sending water up. Now if you wanted to make a little pond down here, you wouldn't be able to do it because there'd be too much water coming out of here to put any kind of small dam or anything here, try to dam up some of this water, unless you put a really nice spillway in there. But we'll have to, when we get up to the road, we'll see where this goes on the other side. But still don't see, there might be a fence right through that area. I think I see a couple fence posts. So we'll see if there's a trail to get over there. Heavily trafficked game trail right here. You can tell it's a game trail because it goes underneath its limbs here. Wouldn't be a person trail. It would be really cool to put a game camera on this trail, see what's using this highway. And we found a marker down here. This marker is marks the state right of way. So this is, I believe, a state highway up here right to the top of the hill there. So the state has the right of way all the way out to here if they ever want to make a wider road or something. So it's not that you can't use this area between the marker and the road. You just can't do anything that'll hinder them making use of it in the future. You can hear that truck going by in the background because we're closer up to the road now. But we're on the other side of the culvert. See if we can find the fence line or property line out here somewhere. All right, we did find an old dilapidated fence here. I would assume that that indicates the property line. So pretty far over here. If you look back across here, there's quite a bit of flat area. I'm wondering if they would allow another ramp off the road, or if that would be no bueno also, because big huge flat area down here that you could really camp in. That would be cool. Let's make our way down to the river's edge over here on this side of the property, see what it looks like. Okay, we're at the extreme west end of the property. That fence comes down right about where that log is. Something's been bedding down in here. It's all trampled down. Doesn't look like human foot traffic. But you could fish right here. It's a little deeper. Nice little deep hole right here along this bank where you could do some fishing, definitely. There's that sandbar out in the river that you could play on. And then all of that over there is public ground that you can also access by crossing the river. Now, I don't know if you could see it. Right over there is that big bank above the river that we first walked down on. Over there. So I'm going to cruise here along the river, see the sights before we head back up around back towards the truck. You can see this is that big flat area. The only setback I think right here is the highway noise, but down in here it's not terrible. You know, it wouldn't take much to clean this up, get the brush out of here, bring the tractor down here with a brush crusher, clean this up, then bush hog this area and then keep it mowed down. This would be just an absolute beautiful area down in here. I love the really good river access. That's the kind of camping we really like doing. We can launch kayaks from here. We could take out kayaks from here, come down here and spend a weekend, get away from home. Another big flat area here. See, there's the bluff over there we walked down onto. I don't know how far the property goes that way, but we'll see if we can find a fence on the other side too. I really should be wearing high top boots going through here, because we do have a couple poisonous snakes here in Nebraska, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled. A million little minnows here where this little creek comes out. This would be a nice spot for a little footbridge. It wouldn't be able to be very permanent, because I'm sure when the water blows and goes, it might wash out a little bit, but it wouldn't take too much to put a little footbridge across here that wouldn't hurt to lose it every now and then if the water come blowing through here real hard. But we could make it high enough to where some water could get underneath pretty easily. We got to go back up and walk around that culvert again. If I didn't care about getting my feet wet, I'd just walk through here. You guys let me know if this stuff's anything to worry about. It's coming up all over the place and I've been walking through it. I know what poison oak looks like and that's not it, but I don't know what poison ivy looks like. Have to do a little Google search later. Hopefully this isn't an old Indian burial mound. A lot of horror movies start like that. Okay, we've made it back up to the bluff here of the river. I'm gonna go around this way, see if I can find another fence or something. See how bad the terrain is. It looks a little thick down in there. I might just go up to the road, see where the fence takes off the road. Beautiful little flat spot down here. Oh, heck with it. I'm just going to walk down there. another little flat area down here in the trees, right close to the water. Fantastic game habitat, I tell you what. They can hide in here for a long time. We found another flat area down here by the water. It was way too brushy to get through there. We had to go up and around a little bit. But if this does end up being our property, we would cut a nice little walk path along the river so you could access all these areas. I've yet to find a fence, so I'll go this way a little bit further, see if we can find one, and then we'll head back to the truck. A lot of raccoon prints down here by the river. Perfect spot for them, that's for sure. Still haven't found the fence. We'll keep looking. All right, I think I've gone beyond where a property line should be. So rather than go back through the forest, I'm just going to jump up here, try to jump up here on the road and get back to the truck. Well, straight up from where we were in the river, there's a survey marker and a stake. And that usually indicates a property line. So that's probably where the property line is, right here. That survey marker was right down in here. So this flat area down here that would have fairly good access if we needed it. Probably not on the property, but we're this far down from where we went down. So it's a pretty good chunk of riverfront property here. Now if we wanted access to this other side, there's a real flat area running through here, and we could dive off down in there at a fairly decent road, not too steep. Just got to know if we can do that in the state right of way, if they would mind just to access, as long as we're not building anything. Now another good prospect here on this property is there's a whole bunch of oak, lots and lots. You could remove some and not even make a dent. Some of it's nice straight trunks. If a guy had a sawmill, you could make a fortune off of that oak alone. Here's the highway here. Now right here is where that culvert comes across. It comes from a pretty good drainage back in here. I would venture to say that drainage probably goes clear back to those hills. There's probably a good amount of water that comes through there at some points during the year. This is the actual entrance here. It's got some really good railroad ties here and a nice gate to keep people out. Alright folks, we made it safely back to the truck. It's a good thing because I'm by myself down in here. Dumb idea. Should have waited for Kelly. We're actually supposed to come down here and look at the property next week on Wednesday, but I was in the area so I couldn't help it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should we pull the trigger on this property or not? Obviously I got to go talk to the bank people because I don't just have that money laying around. So I don't even know if the bank would loan money on a property with no house. So we'll have to see about that as well. That was the problem with the last property we were looking at that was just down the road from our house. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. Give me your honest opinion on this place. I'd love to have a place to go hang out on the weekends. The only negative to me is the traffic noise, which I said again is not terrible once you get over the bluff, but it is present, and I'm sure it wouldn't be as present at night. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us when we get back on the farm. Love you guys.